I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin. In this video, we're going to have a look at Legends of Elumnia, the launch, the price, and a full price prediction moving forward. It just went live on the Huobi exchange not too long ago. And when I say not too long ago, it's been about 15 minutes. I'm not familiar with this exchange, so bear with me while we navigate. Of course, anything in this video regarding the launch, just my opinion. And what do I know? Well, some might say a lot because I review a lot of games, a lot of launches, and some might say very little because I'm not always right, which makes sense. You can't always be right. And we like to have fun here, right? So I'm going to pull up the white paper because we're going to tie on the tokenomics. I can't even recall. It's been a long time since I reviewed this game. I did really like it. But the public sale price was 5 cents. It's sitting at about 12.6, so definitely a good launch in my opinion. It did launch at the IDO price. Reached basically an all-time high of about 24 cents. Is there any way I could move this graph? Trading view, depth. No, the trading view is nice. Yep. Okay. So let me just align it properly. There we go. So this is definitely the better chart. Okay, so basically it went up to the 25 cents. There was a huge sell-off here, probably just on the claim, right? So this was the listing. Then this was the people from the listing selling. And then this was basically more people buying. And then about 3 minutes in, the people who were able to claim their tokens on TGE started to sell. And that was not even that much volume, right? So the candle dropped only slightly. The seed round did basically a 12x, which was really great for them. Strategic 4x, private 3x, and public 2.5x on the current price, not on the all-time high. So I think that's really good in terms of the launch. The seed got 2.5% TGE, strategic 3.75, private 5%, and public 25%. Now they're being cliffed. So there's a 14-day cliff moving forward, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days. But it's looking quite good for Elumnia. They're obviously launching not in the best market conditions, right? So you do have to take that into consideration. So any IDO launching now in either extreme fear or fear today, according to the Fear and Greed Index, obviously quite big balls, right? Let's just say how it is. Yesterday, Bitcoin dropped to about 38.5K. Right now at about 40K, but definitely not looking as good as it did about 3 to 4 weeks ago, sitting at about 47K. So being in the position that it is right now, the FUD that the team had to deal with, because obviously this team has designed MMO projects before and apparently abandoned them along the way. There are different things, different aspects, how you can look at it. But for me, it doesn't really matter that much. What matters specifically is the initial market cap, in my opinion. So the market cap is still at around $1 million, right? Which it was 436K. Then basically they started at 5 cents, now 12 cents, which is basically 2.1, 2.2 times, right? So we're hovering around $1 million in market cap, which I think is still relatively low compared to other games. However, they obviously have the market against them currently. So when we look at the chart, I do believe that this Elumnia project, Legends of Elumnia, has a lot of growth potential, right? Which means that any game like this, specifically more the MMORPG model, specifically what they have shown on their game so far, I think it should have, normally speaking, obviously not looking, considering the FUD that they have to deal with, but how professional everything looks, what they have been doing. I think there's still an NFT sale coming up, right? It's a land, I assume. That's the thing when I reviewed them. The only thing that they're not transparent on is the team per se, right? Which makes sense. But the trailer that they have, it does look really good. The website looks really good. So in general, I think this will be well, if we would have to make a price prediction, right? When the market becomes a little bit more bullish, so we're looking at like a 50 to 60k Bitcoin or beyond, these type of games should easily be pulling a 5 to 10 million market cap. Easy, right? From what we've seen. So this is not a future prediction, so to say, per se. This is more based on historic events. And the historic events basically indicate that these games are usually around that market cap, right? In a bullish market, specifically on the game launch, these might do really well. So if we look at the actual Telegram, then we can basically say they muted the chat for the launch. And in terms of the announcements, okay, GameFi. So basically they haven't had too many announcements after that one, just the contract, right? And then the trading pair. But I'm curious to see on which exchange this is actually, because is it a Binance Smart Chain token? I'm not really too sure, because I thought it was on Solana. Let me check the swapping pair. So it's swapped for USDT. I don't think it's on CoinMarketCap yet. I can check PooCoin to see if it's a Binance, but I think it's a Solana token. Yeah, there's nothing there. So it's called Birdview, I think. Solana price. What's it called? Chart? It's Birdview, I think. Now you get Solana chain Birdview. I think it's called Birdview. I'm not sure. Bird Eye. Is that what it's called? Yeah, that's what it's called. Bird Eye. Okay. So put in the contract. Here we go. Elumnia Crown. That's it. So it is a Solana token indeed. But it's not on the DEX yet, it appears. That's strange. Okay. So we don't have a chart, but there's 1,812 holders. Damn, there are quite some big holders. So 1 day ago. Okay, so that can't be somebody who just got in today. What about this one? 15% of the tokens 1 day ago. 5% of the tokens. And I'm not really too much of an analyst in terms of how the blockchain works or how to navigate it, but I always think it's interesting to have a look. So this is 4 hours ago. So this the guy got the tokens 9 days ago. Okay, 4 million. Yeah, and they just dropped 1 million. Is that correct? No. All right. Well, that's why I said maybe I'm not the smartest guy to look at these charts. I do think it's quite interesting, but I've never really taken the time to explore. I just think it's really cool because when I first used this tool, I was following SolChicks, and we all know how that went. But you could see the holders and the percentages of how much they hold. So these must be, I assume, liquidity wallets or something, or big VCs, because I don't understand why somebody would hold 15% of the supply. 8% of the supply. That's huge. You know, these guys can really crash the project, and the jump is quite big. It goes from 5% to 0.6%, right? And these basically receive their tokens. So this one guy claimed 3 million tokens 1 hour ago. So the signature was set, and I assume the claim happened here. But then again, Solscan is not my, like Ethereum blockchain I can navigate. Binance Smart Chain I can navigate, but I don't do too much on Solana. What we do see is that there's a little bit slightly upward trend, and I mean little, it's quite significant. So for what I would say in the next coming days, right? If you're interested, usually give it about 72 hours for the price to level out, right? Then the hype is really gone. If you want to make an entry, usually what I like to do, or at least from my experience, is that wait perhaps maybe 8 to 14 days, right? So the real people, everybody has claimed, everybody has sold. You'll see a lower low in that case, usually. And unless Bitcoin pumps, if you want to make a long-term entry, usually after about 7 to 14 days, that would be a good area to make that entry. On the next Bitcoin dip, you will have to have a look how Elumnia responds, because that will be the first crash, momentum crash, to see how the price pattern behaves in that case. But I assume that there will be relatively heavy price impact because there aren't that many tokens into circulation just yet. When we go into a more bullish market, I think this is not a AAA game, right? But I think this is an interesting game. And because they have so much experience developing MMORPGs, something good to say that, something bad to say about that. But I do think there's like a future for this project, and therefore I might cover it again in the future to do a little price prediction update when the market turns around. But so far, short term, I think the price will remain rather stable. If the IDO price is 5 cents, I think it's likely going to return to IDO price if the market doesn't recover, right? Because nobody's really looking to invest into a long-term project while the market is this volatile. So if you are into the 13 cent right now, you might want to take profit, get as far ahead on your initial as possible to recoup that investment, because I think that as soon as Bitcoin dips, this token will dip and it will stabilize around the 5 cents IDO price. That's what we've seen with all the bigger projects so far. If you have a different opinion, if you think Elumnia is going to the moon, love to hear about it. Feel free to drop it in the comments down below and we can have a small, polite discussion. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Real quick before you go, if you're into IDOs and Launchpad, check out my software trackdigits.com, free to use while in beta. It tracks all your IDO vesting so you never miss a claim again, integrates with Google Calendar and sends you a notification to your phone 10 minutes before your claim happens. No longer will you have to work with Google Sheets, Excel, keep everything up to date in an automated software. The claims, the vesting, the profit and loss, the statistics, everything included in one easy to use software. You can use it for free while in beta. All I ask in return is that you give me some feedback on how we can improve this platform. You can find a link to sign up for free through the link in the description down below. I hope you give it a shot. Let me know what you think. I'm very excited in building this platform together with you, trackdigits.com.